Bitcoin is going back to the upside exactly as we predicted it, also especially from the levels that were mentioned yesterday. And part of that is the agreed ceasefire between Israel and Iran. And now the question is this still a fragile ceasefire? Can we go higher from here, or do we need right now a major pullback before we get the continuation of this reversal? Let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. Wow, amazing. So this time my screen did not freeze, but it did not change the screen that I want to be on. So let me change this here quickly. We are here on, no, we are on the right screen. It just doesn't show the right one. So let me so restart capture. There we go, guys. So we jump directly in. Let me see who's here. Okay, we have 22 people here. Amazing. So we go directly into today's content here. This is a live ticker here from the BBC. I'm not a huge fan of the legacy media, but that was the best that I could find here. While I was looking really quickly where is a proper live ticker. So right now, this morning, a ceasefire was agreed to over last night. Both parties agreed to. That was one of the major reasons why the market went back to the upside. And then over the course of today, there were some violations. And now Israel is threatening again to bomb Iran. So there's now again a back and forth. So it's a little bit fragile. But the really important thing here is the market is right now not really reacting to it. Also not when technically the ceasefire was broken on both sides. The market did not react to it anymore, most likely because that we are so close to an end of these hostilities on both sides that the market priced that right now in and doesn't price in anymore further escalations. So, and that is of course really good for us. You can see this also here in the oil price. Oil was here crashing to the downside from this multi-month downward sloping trend line, multi-year trend line. So let me see. Okay, this time was the right button. We're here now at $66.38. I don't expect us to break above that trend line here again unless we have really major escalations where both parties go back into the war and said, okay, there will be no ceasefire anymore. We don't care. We just keep going. Only then we could see here a massive turnaround. The DXY in that same fashion got rejected from this downward sloping trend line of that bearish bear flag that we were talking about here. So we are coming here really close now, below 98 points. Also here, continuation is what I see here over the next coming days. Maybe a small bounce from the bottom line here, but after that, a collapse to downside. And that might be potentially triggered by the rate cut that we get in potentially here a little bit more than 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken by the date. So here, yeah, basically just after, so maybe some sideways chop and then here into that rate cut, that drop. Could be potentially also happening earlier. So, but if we are just going by technicals, it should be happening here in the next 7 to 10 days that we see that breakdown. When we go then into Bitcoin, so here, everything played out as I was laying it out to you guys yesterday. It was really nice to see that that we were here right with what we said, and that was that if we close here above that trend line, I expect then a reversal back to the upside. That is exactly what we got here. We got also exactly stopped here currently at the 50 moving average. I warned about this, that this might be a profit taking area and a point where we're gonna see a rejection potentially. So, and we are now close, just a little bit above that 50 moving average, but we have still a lot of time left here. We have over 12 hours left of today where this potentially can still bite us, and we actually close below that, and then in the next coming days we get a proper break above that, and at the same time we would in any case, if we get now here a sustained support established above the 50 moving average, we will break this downward sloping trend line that comes from the all-time high, and that will also signal continuation into a new all-time high. Here, the most important level to watch for that is that we just stay above $104,000, and then the confirmation will come first of all from the 50 moving average, that we stay above the 50 moving average, and then break here the downward sloping trend line, which is currently sitting at around $106,000. The V-shaped recovery is also exactly playing out as I had showed you this here on the 1 hourly chart. So the V-shape took place, we came here back up. Now we are in that area from where I said just yesterday I mentioned that I expect from here that pullback and then continuation. Let me just change the color here quick because you cannot see anything. So here, from there I was expecting a pullback. So a pullback is still standing out back down here in alignment with the EMA ribbon right now. So we don't have to go all the way here down here, but it would make sense to me to go all the way down to $104,000. I'm going to show you in a moment other compelling reasons why that might be happening, and then a bounce back here into higher levels. Oh, I just realized something, but okay, I have to fix that later, which is fine. So the reason for that rejection up here is multiple things. For once, it is huge resistance because of the VPVR and the point of control that is at $105,440 currently, and the prior support level or support resistance flip zone, I always call it here, which is also acting as resistance right now. As you can see here, when we got the initial move to the upside, we saw a rejection from the imminent rejection, came back down, then started to consolidate below that, and now coiling up for a potential breakthrough into higher levels. But I would be not surprised if we get some event that would lead to a quick flash drop here into the EMA ribbon, a $1,000 move to the downside, just 1% in Bitcoin, nothing severe, and then we turn around and break through this level and start to move here higher. Then on the liquidation levels, oh wait, I missed something. I missed something here. Yes, sorry guys, I missed something here what I wanted to lay out. Why do I believe that we will now continue with that reversal? Because I told you a couple of days ago, as long as we are putting in higher lows, we will continue higher. And what do you see here? Higher low, here, lower low, higher low, higher low, currently higher low. I don't see this low to be broken. This might have been the low, the last low, below $100,000 for the rest of the cycle. I say potentially, don't nail me on it, but potentially that's what it was. Here again, you're gonna have confirmation when we break the downward sloping trend line and start moving into a new all-time high. And while I'm saying this, I want to point out here, guys, once again, I said it yesterday, if you want to properly learn how to analyze the markets, there is right now the possibility that you can get my course absolutely for free. For free, guys, absolutely for free. The only thing that you have to do, and I explain it now again because some people did not understand it yesterday, so I want to be here really, really clear. There are some simple steps that you have to follow for this. Sign up on BloFin with my link. Deposit $100 on BloFin when you have signed up with my link. You will not find the course in your BloFin account. There is not where you're gonna find the course. When you have done that, then it's in the description of this video. There is a link. There is a link to a Google form. Fill out the Google form so that my team can capture your email address. When we have your email address, then you're gonna get an email from AMCrypto.us where we let you into the self-paced course. You know, we're gonna send you login details so that you can access the course. So like I said, I'm gonna repeat it once again. The only thing that you have to do is sign up with my link on BloFin, deposit $100, and then you're gonna get, and then you fill out the Google form, and then you get access to that course absolutely for free. Usually I'm selling this for $1,000. I do this for a limited time. I cannot promise you for how long, but for now it's fine. but at some point I'm gonna close the door again, you know, and then it will cost money again. So, but for now, I can promise you maybe for at least, for at least a week until the 1st of July, I can promise you it will be for free if you sign up on BloFin and deposit $100 and fill out the Google form. So yeah, you find everything in the description. Now, on the liquidation levels here, the most important thing that I'm looking at right now is the 200 moving average, which is at $106,000, and the 50 moving average, $104,000. What is that? $104,000. So there you see where the confluence is coming from that I mentioned earlier with the $104,000 level. So if you're looking for a Bitcoin position, if you got sidelined by that move overnight because you were sleeping, for example, and you did not have limit orders, then either you wait, then we come back down to $104,000 and you have a limit order there, or you wait for a break of $106,000 and you buy market, you enter there. Here again, if we get a move to the upside past $106,000, then we are breaking this downward sloping trend line also here on the 4-hourly chart. So for now, we are in a former support level area in that block here. As long as we are within that block, we go to the upside. The liquidation heat map is still showing us a clear direction where price is going. I said yesterday, down here in that area, there is nothing really left anymore for a market maker to go down here and push lower, and rather go to the upside, start short squeezing and take liquidity that's now above us. As you can see here, the next major liquidity area is around $106,500. From there, we're gonna trigger the next short squeeze in direction of $108,000. So once we are there, we most likely gonna see another consolidation before we try to get to $110,000. At $110,000, there's enough liquidity again to get a short squeeze into $111,000. But up here, guys, up here, I'm warning you right now, when we reach $111,000, not only is that a new all-time high when we get there, but there's also major resistance right now, just because there is the prior all-time high right now around that level. So, and a lot of shorts, limit shorts are sitting up there. That's why you get here the concentrated area partially. It's not only liquidation levels, it's also sell orders. So yeah, we're gonna struggle to break through that level in my opinion. On the MDX Algo scalp gradients, here really positive for us that the price broke back into that big bullish pennant here. And also that was mentioned, if that is going to happen, then everything down here was just a deviation out of that pattern. Now we are continuing to trade within that pattern. The only thing that's a little bit concerning to me here right now is that we got here 2 dot plots on the reactor indicator, while we are not completely have run hot yet on the gradients and on the reactor indicator. So here, like a red face like there with a bearish divergence has not happened yet, but we have 2 dot plots. So 2 dot plots is inherently not too bad, and I want to show you why. When you get on the upper end 2 dot plots, like over here, see this? So here, you basically got this here with that plot on the MDX Algo scalp gradients. We still moved higher a little bit. So also here, I still expect that we are coming at least to $106,000, $107,000 before you would get a proper pullback in that move here. So something like this, and then you go here to the top, then consolidate a little bit, and at around the $108,000 level, and then a breakthrough higher. So this is how I see the next couple of days here unfolding for Bitcoin. Like I said, if there's geopolitically again something happening that crashes the markets, we cannot account for that right now. But from a technical perspective, it looks like that this is the pathway forward. Then on the daily chart, we know now that the 2 from the Elliott wave count was in fact here in the golden ratio, and the confirmation for that was yesterday's crazy impulse move here to the upside, and also today's move here, because that is just consolidation candle on the daily chart. If we go into lower time frames, you know that there's way more small candles showing that we're actually consolidating in the current price range between $105 and $106,000. Sorry, $104,500 and $106,000. That's the actual range. So, and also here you can see once we're breaking above the $106,000 level, we should, in the best case scenario, break the downward sloping trend line and trigger another impulse move like here from yesterday. And that will be your final confirmation that the third wave is in play right now. And on the daily chart for a swing position, this downward sloping trend line will be also your last potential solid entry, safe entry, before we are getting here into new all-time high. Because the problem is with a new all-time high, you never know how much will it pull back. Just into the previous all-time high, will it drop lower and then go back up again? So it's always pretty tricky with new all-time highs. But right now you have like a really good opportunity to get in here. The first one is at $106,000. The next one would be when we break the downward sloping trend line, which is in a perfect world around the same level. And then you are too late. Then you are too late unless you get lucky when we break the all-time high that we come back and retest that. You see here a small bounce from that, and on that bounce would be then really the absolute last chance to get in here before you get a new all-time high and potentially move here past $120,000. So you should not wait too long to get here into a swing position if you're still wanting to get one. Or even just a trade that you're going to ride out until the end of the bull market until we actually reach the top. So which could be potentially already in the third wave. The Bitcoin dominance is dropping to the downside. We are retesting the upward sloping support level before the weekend. Before the weekend, I see us below that. Best case scenario is that we're going to see finally here a proper big move to the downside, something that we have seen over here, and then not see another rising wedge again. So what we see then rather is that we see here downward sloping trend, then you get another big candle, downward sloping trend. Sometimes we come up a little bit, but overall downward sloping down, and then you get at some point some cascades, and then we reassess the situation. But this is kind of what I am expecting here from dominance next to be happening, because also with the Bitcoin dominance, you are running out of time in terms of the cycle timing for an actual altcoin season. So there is by next month, there's technically 3 months left for a proper altcoin season. The altcoin season can come really, really quickly, faster than everybody is expecting it. And also happening really quickly, but we have to get going. We have to get going here, that the dominance actually starts falling, like properly falling. The total free market cap has regained the $850 billion level. That opens us up here now to get to the top of the downward sloping parallel channel that we're trading in. All the way up to $850 billion. Once we are breaking through that, the next level is $931 billion. That should coincide with a small drop in the dominance when we are retesting this level here. And when the dominance keeps falling into lower levels, then we finally get a sustained move here above $1 trillion, and we'll also move here on the total free market cap into a new all-time high. If you want to trade altcoins with me, guys, don't forget I trade them mostly on Bybit. On Bybit, you still get a debit card if you don't have one. Really, really nice, up to 10% cashback and $30,000 in sign-up and deposit bonuses. Also, there is a link in the description if you want to sign up on Bybit. Plus that they have a lot of VIP events all the time happening. There was actually just here where I am, like a month ago was one. I just could not go because I was not here. Now Ethereum also nice reshaped recovery on the 4-hourly chart. On the daily chart, we just got started, so we are still nowhere close to see a major pullback, but I expect potentially one from $2,500. So I hope a lot of you guys got into that trade down here, because we would be massively up now. Let's actually check quick how much we're up on this. Already 10.7% from the original entry, just from yesterday. So would I enter this here right now? No, definitely not, because we are already way too far away from the original entry. The next major trade that you can take on Ethereum is above the point of control into here, $3,200. So that is also a swing trade with here that low, 5.5% of a stop loss, almost 27% to the upside. That's absolutely fine, but you need to see a reclaim of the point of control with a 4-hourly candle close. Only then you can enter this, because the indicators are still showing here strength to the upside. The MACD will by after tomorrow or the day after that potentially flip bullish. We see already that momentum is losing steam here on the sell side. You see the stochastic pointing to the upside. The RSI is going sideways because we are currently already trading below, just below here, a resistance area. And that comes from here, that prior support that you have seen here. Here we broke that support, so now we're retesting this as resistance. And that's why the RSI is going a little bit sideways here. Solana also really quick move. That happened here between yesterday and today. I warned about this, that this can go really quickly on this 4-hourly chart. Also here you see now why I said when we come up here to this downward sloping trend line, you should start taking some profits, or at least raise your stop loss to like $140. So this is now support again. And you see here we have multiple wicks rejecting this level currently. And when I look at the stochastic RSI, that looks like that if we are not getting here with the next 4-hourly candle a break above that line, that we will actually start turning around, coming back to $140 in the best case scenario, and from there find the momentum to push into higher levels. But this will take at least, in my opinion, 24 to 30 hours to find the momentum to push here higher with a stochastic RSI looking like this on the 4-hourly chart. Otherwise, we are looking absolutely tremendous bullish here, with the RSI just being around 60% and the MACD here printing only strong green candles, and also the trend lines are really far away from each other here. So, and usually that means you have here a really healthy, sustainable trend right now to the upside. Sui tried today to get close to $3, got rejected from here $2.91. Also here on the 4-hourly chart, it looks like that we are seeing at least a small consolidation before we get continuation, but we have broken out of that falling wedge pattern here today. Now the next major resistance level past $2.91 will be here the upper end of this downwards sloping parallel channel, which would be, if we hit it by today, $3.15 approximately. So once we're breaking that level, we go to $3.60. If you're looking for a trade setup, then again, the golden ratio would be where I would be looking at in that pullback. And then again, this downward sloping trend line is your first line where you want to take some profits. So here, kind of like this, 5.86% of a stop loss, 16.7% profit on that trade. Absolutely fine. I'm also still in my SUI position. I'm still in my SUI position that I'm holding, and I have also some new positions. So I have a new position here, for example, on Avax. I got in here a little bit lower. Sorry, I got in here at $17.71. So would I still enter this right now? I would wait also here because the coins overall, all altcoins, the majority of altcoins, looks right now on at least the 4-hourly chart on stochastic RSI a little bit overcooked. So, and that's why I'm quite cautious here with opening now a shit ton of trades and get into everything. Because the shorter time frames, like I said, the 4-hourly time frame looks a little bit cooked. The 1-hourly is okay. The 30 minutes is okay. The 15 minutes is also okay. So, but the 4-hourly is for me a little bit concerning right now. That's why I'm a little bit cautious, with positions here right now. So, but if we pull back here to $17.73, 71, definitely enter this. Or if you see here the next 4-hourly candle holding above the 50 moving average. So the next one that opens in a little bit less than 10 minutes, that would be the one that I would be looking for. Now, in the chat, guys, really quick, you can give me, I don't know, give me like 2-3 coins. I'm going to have a quick look at them. and then I have to run one more time. So I have a lot of things to do, but 1 or 2 coins, maybe 3, is what we're gonna have a look at before I'm leaving. So let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know. And it's like a ghost town here today. Insane. Oh, XRP is a good one, actually. Let's see. I think I have here an XRP chart. Yeah, so here for hourly. Yeah, also here we are currently trading at this support resistance flip line. We are trying to break above this, but as long as we are, as long as that is looking like this, I would not enter this. So if I get now with the next 4 hourly candle to move above this, then I would be inclined to enter here with like 2 1 hourly candle closes. But the stochastic also here is concerning for me. For a move higher in the immediate short term, if I would want to take a trade right now on this. So I would not take a trade right now on XRP, because there is an inherent risk that we come here back down to like $2.11, which is like a 3% move, not crazy, and then continue to go higher. Or worst case, we fill here this fair value gap all the way down to $2.06, and now we are talking about a 5% move to the downside. So if you want to build a XRP position and you don't have one, I would layer limit orders here in that candle, in that fair value gap, like 3, 4, 5 limit orders. And depending on how low we go here, they get potentially all filled before we go higher. Target would be, for me, first one $2.38, and then the next one would be $2.50. Then Doge. Let's see, Doge. I thought I had here also. Okay, let me see here. Do I not have Bybit drawings on this? Okay, I don't. Okay, whatever. It's fine. So here you have a downward sloping trend line that resembles a lot. Was that Bitcoin or was it another coin? Forgot now on which coin I have seen basically the same trend line, exactly the same trend line. So here you want to wait to get a break above that trend line, and best case scenario, you wait for a retest of the trend line before we go higher, and on that retest is where you enter then. So that could be around the same level where we're sitting at currently. Also here, if I draw here a horizontal line, you can clearly see that we are testing right now, again, the same support resistance line like on all coins, more or less. And only if we close above that and break above the trend line here, that's when I would enter this, or on a pullback back to 15.8 cents. These are the levels that I would be looking at. Guys, I have to go. Thank you so much for tuning in here on that. What is it today? Tuesday. So on that Tuesday, guys, thank you very much for that. Don't forget, if you want my free course, sign up on BloFin, deposit $100, fill out the Google form in the description, and I'm gonna see you with more money than tomorrow. And don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. Bye bye, guys.